Longhorn, Chevy's purpose-built, one-ton camper hauler they made for just 5 short years. If you've ever seen one of these trucks that has a strange vertical line towards the front of the bed, that is a Longhorn. It is the easiest way to distinguish one of these trucks at first glance. Visually, they're not much different than a normal Chevy truck of the same year, but underneath, it's a different story. They are all built on one-ton frames. The frames are not only thicker, but also have a wider and deeper channel than that of a normal 3/4 ton truck. Also, because they're built on a 1-ton chassis, they're then all by default rear leaf spring suspension. A Longhorn was the highest GBW fleet side bed truck you could get in this body style. Now, why'd Chevy do this? Well, they built this truck with camping in mind. Camping was all the craze in the late 60s, early 70s, and Chevy designed the Longhorn to be able to haul a heavier camper with ease and more stability than that of a normal 3/4 ton long bed truck. With the extra 6 inches in bed space, the customer would be able to haul a larger camper or the same size camper with the fleet side tailgate still installed. Whereas many times on a normal long bed truck, you could not do that. So how'd their beefed up 1-ton purpose-built camper hauler sell? Not well, to be honest. They only sold a little over 30,000 units over the course of the 5-year production span. For some perspective, that's a ratio of almost 400 to 1 in 1972. 400 normal long beds to 1 Longhorn truck. A lot of the trucks sat in the lots and were a hard sell. They were a bit more expensive than a normal long bed, and customers weren't seeing the value they were getting in buying a Longhorn and having that much more of a truck. One type of clientele that took a liking to them, though, was farmers. This was because a Longhorn in these years was the only fleet side truck that came with a standard and only with a wood bed floor. All other fleet size were steel floor standard. Now, farmers like this for hauling livestock. It was a much more natural surface for the animals to grip as they're being carted around in the back of the pickup. So it seems about half of them got put to work on the farm, while the other half became camper haulers like they were originally intended to be. I've had a few of them over the years, and I love these things. Pictured above is my 68 50th anniversary Longhorn I picked up a few years back, but obviously most noteworthy is my shop truck. I bought this truck in the summer of 2019, and after a little bit of mechanical work, some new wheels and tires, and a major buff and detail of that original ochre paint, I started daily driving it. I use this truck for anything, and I'll drive it anywhere. It wasn't long after this that I officially opened my shop. And so I had the truck lettered in the Gold City Trucks nameplate and really started putting it to use. Longhorns tow great. That 1-ton rear suspension is just so planted and glued to the road. I've hauled home dozens of old Chevy trucks with this thing. I even hauled this Suburban all the way to California, and then I hauled this 3/4 ton big block truck all the way home. Truck didn't miss a beat. So I guess I found one more special purpose for a Longhorn. They were a camper hauler. They were a wood bed-floored farm truck, but for me, it's the perfect truck for hauling home more old Chevys. Oh, and old Chevy parts, of course. The extra 6 inches comes in handy, I'll tell you what. So one day, my buddy Joe got a hold of me and said, "Hey, I found your truck's twin." The truck even ended up being for sale. So naturally, I bought it, and of course, I had to pick it up with my ochre Longhorn. Doubling down. Ochre Longhorn, hauling an ochre Longhorn. Oh, there's right a little bit. Now, this is something I'd say happens about once or twice a year. A Longhorn hauling home another Longhorn. You'll meet guys out there just like me who are really into these things, and they'll blab on just like I did for the last couple of minutes, telling you all about Longhorns and what makes them different and all that jazz. I think you guys get the gist of it. It's Chevy's 8.5-foot bed, 1-ton purpose-built hauler. Thought I'd do a little video and show you guys some of the farmer fixes on this old Longhorn here. Nothing too crazy here, just old small block Chevy. Oh, they goofed up and they put a stupid square body long water pump on it, and we're trying to make their brackets work again. They got the alternator over here with the stock bracket, and they got the square body power steering pump kind of half in place. I'm like, well, okay, that's kind of crappy. The stock stuff's gone, you know, but I come to find out, if you look, the stock one is just down below. They just pushed it down below this one. The stock 72 pump is just hanging out down there in case you want to switch back. And this one's hooked up. Oh boy, the coil is not in its bracket. They use a spark plug wire, and they have it hanging down the bell housing. It's real nice. It's oh, it's got one of these little goofy things. The snake transmission cooler. It's just a big tube that runs around. This is for the underdash AC. But probably a rat in it somewhere. Yeah, just an old beater Chevy. Nothing special. They made their own little custom mirror extension here for the factory DG4s. Really nice. Cab's actually not too bad down low. It's typical outer rust, but the inner roof is completely shot all the way around. Probably got a big mice or rat's nest up there. That's probably right where they entered it, as it sat in that field for all those years. Bad Boys Club, Bowtie Brigade, Ellensburg Rodeo. What more you need to know? Thanks for watching, guys. Hope it was a fun listen. More 67 to 72 content soon. Good to go. Sweet, man. Thanks.
Yep.
You too.